You want to see something cool? Ta-da! The metal is done. The metal is done and it actually looks like a barn. So I gave y'all an update the other day when we had like the face and a little bit of the roof done, and I mentioned doing some sort of sign. And a bunch of y'all had some good ideas. So I do think I'm gonna do some sort of big metal Running Springs brand sign up there, maybe a big like gooseneck light, have a few like little plants out here. Oh, starting to rain. I also did so much work on the arena this week where it's pretty much all dug out. We are on shelf rock here in Tennessee. We have so much rock that they had to dig out a lot to make it flat coming out of the barn. We couldn't build the barn up more than we did, unfortunately. And so we just kind of had to meet in the middle. But Jonathan and his guys, y'all have seen him work magic with retaining walls. So there's gonna be a retaining wall that goes around. I'm thinking there's gonna be a little patio, like viewing area up there in that corner. I mean, it looks like a barn in here, a barn. It's like you can see the vision. Coming out from the barn to the arena, I think we now have the specific dimensions. I think, and I'll check, I think it's 160 feet by 240. So it's a pretty good size. That was the big dilemma in our covered arena. Our covered arena is fantastic. That is not something I'm ever going to complain about. That is already such a blessing to have at our disposal because then you can ride in pretty much any weather. But our covered arena is 90 by 120, and I do have some stalls in there. So it's basically like 80 or like 90 by 100 by 110, something like that. And so because of that, when you're riding big hunt seaters, when you're trying to, work flying lead changes, when you're trying to open a horse up, there's just not enough room to do it. I cannot wait to ride. I cannot wait to watch Stephanie with my young ones. I cannot wait to just be back in the saddle regularly and having someone to help keep my horses legged up to where when I have time I can ride. This is the first time in my life where I was not the one able to keep all of my horses legged up and ready and, in shape. I rode a lot more last summer than I have in the past couple of years, but I realized with the fact that I have a very time-consuming, demanding job now, and there's a lot of travel and not a whole lot of free time, I would have a couple of horses legged up for a couple weeks, and then I wouldn't be able to ride for a couple weeks. And then it's like you're starting from ground zero when you get back into it. And that was very frustrating. It wasn't really fair to the horses. And so I'm very excited to have someone to help me this year. And there's no shame in needing help, but I mean, that was just like a big hurdle to jump over, right? It's a big step to hire an on-site trainer. So on this side, probably doing more so like some outdoor stalls for quarantining and things like that. Eventually, if we needed it, we could add some stalls over here, but I'm pretty much only planning for a couple right here. Like I said, just for quarantining at the moment. And then on this side, it'll probably be like 2 little dry lots. And one of them is gonna go like 20 feet or like 15 to something like that outside, where it's like a little outdoor part of it, and then one of them is just inside, and it could be where we like keep the young ones tied until it's their turn to ride, or it could be where groundwork is done, things like that. I do have a dry lot up there where I do kind of want to put a walker, and so these will help take place of that dry lot. But I do have more pastures in the works, so that's going to be great too. Anyway, this is where we're at. The overhang is overhanging. Look at this little metal side with all the windows. Look at this flat arena. It's been a journey, right? Our timeline didn't quite line up with my dreams, but what construction job ever does? It doesn't. So it's amazing. I'm blessed. I'm excited. Stay tuned for more updates, and I cannot wait until this is fully functional and we're back here and we're working and we're using it.